The question is, what is behind this sharp drop in the markets these days? Take your pick, it seems, these days. Some say it's fear over debt and the state of European economies. Others point to the job situation right here in the U.S.
So we want to get a couple of views on this, including Robin Farzad on the market and also University of California professor Robert Reich, who served as labor secretary under President Clinton. We're going to begin with you, Mr. Reich. So let's take a look at this. We're expecting these jobless numbers. We just heard from Bill the frustration of the American people about job creation. If this is a negative employment report this morning, what will that do?
Erica, people are scared. They're worried about their jobs and wages. They're worried about the state of the economy. If we have an employment report that does not come up with 125,000 new jobs, at least, and that's what you need just to accommodate the natural growth of the labor force, people are going to be even more scared because it means that we are actually treading water, going backwards. We're not advancing on this job situation. A lot of Americans understand intuitively that when 70% of the economy is consumers, and consumers are workers, and workers are not getting hired, there's kind of a vicious cycle going on in which people are scared that they're not going to get jobs, and they're going to lose their jobs, their wages are going down, so they're not spending. And if they're not spending, employers are not going to hire.
Mr. Secretary, it's Jeff Glor. Let me ask you, there's quite a few headlines this morning bringing up the words double-dip recession. Is that fair? Is that on the table at this point?
Jeff, I would have said last week or the week before, probably not. I think we're up to about 50-50 in terms of probability. A lot of people thought that once the debt ceiling crisis was over, once there was no problem with regard to defaulting on the nation's debt, that everybody would breathe a sigh of relief, markets would breathe a sigh of relief. But actually, we've had the opposite response. What's happened essentially is that many on Wall Street, many economic analysts, many people who understand the economy now understand something very fundamental. And that is the new budget deal has tied the hands of the government, making it more difficult for the government to respond to this crisis in aggregate demand, the fact that people are not spending enough, with additional boosts to the economy. So
then, based on the picture you paint, if the government's hands are more tied than ever, and because we are this consumer-driven economy, is there realistically anything any lawmaker from any party could do to actually spur job growth?
Erica, I think that hopefully what's going to happen now is that lawmakers are back in their districts. They're hearing from their constituents. Their constituents are saying, look, jobs and economic growth and wages are far more important than anything else. This budget deficit is important over the long term, but right now you need to take action to spur growth. For example, exempting the first $20,000 of income from payroll taxes for 2 years, or amending the bankruptcy laws so people can actually declare bankruptcy on their primary residence and have more bargaining leverage with lenders, or expanding their earned income tax credit. I mean, there are a lot of things that can be done, should be done, but Washington needs to get out of the mentality that it's all just about the budget deficit and really switch to the understanding that it really is all about jobs.
Yeah, and get rid of the understanding it's all about politics, too.
That won't happen, but we'll see. Former Labor Secretary Robert Reich. Mr. Reich, thank you very much for your time this morning.